Right, welcome back to the channel. It's quite a breezy day today, hopefully you'll be able to hear me. So today's about the Hydratrail, the Easy Lifter Hydra Trail. It's a fantastic idea, I've been after one for a while. Now I've got one, now I've tried one, the jury is out, so stick with me through the video and we'll go through the advantages and the disadvantages of this Hydratrail. If you're keen amongst you, you'll already notice one massive disadvantage, but we'll get to that as we put it together. So it is a one-man job. The first disadvantage is you need tools, whereas a normal trailer you don't need tools. So we've undone the locking nut. We'll just take out this locating pin. And the other thing about them is the different sizes. Some are 17, some are 19, some are 13, so it's a bit of a pain. I've done a bit of colour coding to make things a bit easier. Oh, the other disadvantage, it's actually quite heavy, and if you get this wrong, you could quite easily trap your fingers. It's a bad start, isn't it? Get open, there we go. Right, so this is the clever suspension for up and down. Oh, first disadvantage, need a flange tow bar. So I had a swan neck removable one, brilliant, you could take it off, hidden, no problem. I've had to buy another tow bar with a flange to take this adapter, and that slots into there. The little locking bolt goes through there with a bit of jiggling. And with a 19mm, there's a locking nut just here. Which will just give it a little bit. I won't bother tightening the locking nut just yet. So that's the suspension for up and down. Pretty clever. This is actually a good design. Alright, the next bit is to slide this ramp on. And again, there's a locking nut, which I think is a 19. And this one has some pins to keep it in place. Now, it is a one-man operation, but it is quite heavy. If we get somewhere close, and then that just slides in. Now, it doesn't go all the way in, so I've put a little mark on it. Then we'll slide the big pin in with the rather large gudgeon pin. And then we'll lock that down. I won't do the locking nut totally. So that's the first bit done. Now it does come with a ramp to go on there. It's a bit odd really, I don't know why they would do that. Some people just use the ramp with the wheels on all the time, but that gets away from the advantage of this is a simple loading up system. Right, now, disadvantage number 2, and this is a big one for me. Can't open the hatch. I can't open the hatch because it's locked, but if it was open, still can't open it. So to open that tailgate, I've got to take the whole thing off. Now that for me is a big thing, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not happy with it, but we'll go on and continue. So next is to assemble the jacking system. Now this is another bad design, because this bit here where the jack goes on isn't long enough, and it can slide off if you're not careful. So that goes in there, and again it's a bit fiddly. Just adjust that. Right. So this is again another disadvantage. It is very fiddly. This has to be adjusted for every different location you're in. If it was here all the time, I can just set everything up and it's wonderful, but it isn't. Right, the jack, make sure it goes all the way in. So you can see there, if I just put it upside down for now, I can't. It does have half an inch, and what I might do is I might drill that and put a pin through. Right, the next thing is to get this sorted, and we do that by altering that height. However, I've found that if I don't have it about an inch out, I can't jack it high enough up to put the wheels on. Oh, that's just come off, look. So what I tend to do is leave it there and lift the mechanism up until it slides on. And again, as you can see, it's pretty fiddly. Right, that's the jack on. But as you can see now, that's lifting up a little bit. Oh, advantage number two, or good design number two, is this movement up and down when it goes over the bumps. So you've got that way suspension, and you've got up and down suspension. Pretty good. However, we don't want this moving up and down at the moment. In fact, we will. We'll leave it loose, but we do have a locking pin. Right, so at this point, we would wheel the scooter on the motorbike. But of course, I can't. You've got to have a wide open space. So that's a disadvantage if you've only got a single drive. You're gonna have to go on the main road or the estate road, whatever, to load the ramp on. So what I'll do now is I'll just take it all off, move the car forward, and we'll do it in a proper place so you can see the rest of the mechanism. Okay. And here's another bad design, or what should be a good design, before I take all the bits. If you could just lift this up and lock it in place, obviously that locks, you can move it around a little bit without taking everything off. But there's no locking mechanism. Now I can think of a way about locking that, but it means I'm going to have to make a pretty heavy duty bracket. So that's something to think about in the future. But yeah, if I could just lift that up and lock it, I could just drive the car about a little bit easier, but I can't. Right. I'll speed this up. Basically that slips in there. Put that in. That still moves enough to put the scooter on, I think. But obviously, yeah, we'll put that in as well. Not sure what them holes are for. Right, so now we get the scooter, put it on. The kin of you may also have noticed the taillight's bust. Another bad design is this vibrates like mad. Actually vibrated loose, fell from the floor, smashed all the lights. So I put just a fix in there. I'm going to cut another one there so this stops vibrating as well. Right, let's get the scooter. Okay, I've had to put a little bit of wood here to get it up. Just put that under there. Stop it going down. Right, better get the claw. So as you can see, it's very fiddly, really. Very fiddly. Right, that goes in there. I've actually marked it. There's a little yellow mark there for where it goes in. Stick it there for now. Right. Let's push the bike on. Oh. And that just falls in the front there. Right, then this, once this goes over here without scratching the paintwork, it's going to hold it in place. But what we have to do, we have to push down. Get that pin in. And then put the gudgeon pin in, back in place. Right, that's not going anywhere now, but obviously when you're on the move you need to tie up the wheels down, apply a brake. I've got a brake lever, and maybe put a few little straps down, but that's actually pretty steady as it is. Right, that's on. Now all I do is jack it up, and that's the good thing about it, the good design. So back around here again, making sure that stays on place, and we'll jack it up. And that pin's in there so it doesn't rock. Obviously you have to take that out when you're on the move, but it's attached to the jack, so you do remember. Right, I'll just leave it up like that height for now while I go and get the wheels. Alright, bad design number, I don't know what it is, but these wheels, they're kept in with one pin. Really, really surprising. But they've sold plenty of them, and I believe the emergency services use them, so it must be good enough. Right. So I want to go up a little bit higher. Oh, a lot higher. A lot higher. So another disadvantage is the amount of time it takes to do. Now, this is only the 4th time I've done it, I think. Something like the 4th time. So I'm getting used to what to do, and the ordering. I used to have colour coded things quite a bit higher. But we're just about at the top of the jack now, and that's why that thread that I mentioned at the beginning is so important. Now we need a bit more. I hope that jack will give it a little bit more, because it's going to have to. Right, that's at the top of the jack now. So if this doesn't go in, it's all got to come back off again. with a bit of gentle persuasion. Then there's a little pin here which you have to pull out while you're pushing that in. You've got to pull all the way out, which is a little bit tricky. That's all the way out, and that's not. Then it goes in. Just one little pin holding that in place. Terrible design. Same on this one. You can see the pin there. In fact, what I'll do, I'll just quickly show you that. If you can see, that's the pin, and it only goes through one hole. Poor design, but that's how it's supposed to be, I guess. That's a nice classic Kawasaki just gone past there. And that's it, you see, it's, show you again. That's held in. Looks like the card's full on this one. So if you can see, I don't mean to tell from back there, it's actually quite loose that, but that's how it is. Right, so it's on the wheels, everything's out the way, we can let it down on the wheels now. That's simply just turning the jack release. Then we can take the jack off and take the pin out. Take that off. That off. That off. Obviously plug that in. Fit your brake, fit your straps, and away you go. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that video on the Easy Lifter Hydra Trail. Just as a quick summary, disadvantages and advantages. Disadvantages, well, you need tools. It takes long to set up. It's quite fiddly. When the thing is fitted, I can't open the tailgate on the van. There's some poor design features as well on it. I don't like the jack locating pins. And the first time I did it, it almost slipped off the pin. Then it's a bit longer, or needs a hole drilling with a pin put in it. The wheel locking mechanism must be good. They've tested it, but it's one little pin on one little hole. It just doesn't seem enough to me. There's quite a bit of vibration on the lightning board, the trailer light board. As you see, one of them is smashed because it vibrated off, and it's sorting out. Disadvantages again, you need a wide area to load the scooter on, or the bike. No good on a single driveway. You're going to have to go onto the main road to load up and then jack up and put the wheels on. So that's a bit of a disadvantage as well. The other thing as well, you can't trailer that Hydra Trail with no weight on it. Otherwise the wheels just go everywhere, there's vibration and you're going to damage it. So if you were going to go and pick up a bike, say you bought one out and broken down, you're going to have to somehow store it in the back of the car, and it's quite a big ramp, until you get there, then set it up. Now, I've come up with a little ingenious idea of locking that vertical movement mechanism, so I might be able to do something about that. But again, that's a bit of a mod, which I may or may not sort out. We'll have a look at that. So yeah, there's a lot of disadvantages to it. Advantages to it: easy to store. The overall length when it's attached to the back of the van isn't massive, not as much as a normal trailer. One man can load the bike scooter up dead easy once it's all sorted. But the main thing, which I'll show you on another video, is when you reverse, there's no jackknifing. the wheels castor like pram wheels, like shopping cart wheels, and they turn round, so they turn as the car or van turns, so there's no jackknifing. Brilliant. As soon as I can reverse for toffee, that's one of the main reasons why I bought it. So yeah, that's it. Hope you found the video useful. You need to weigh up the pros and cons. Oh, one last con as well is the price. The price is ridiculous. But the engineering behind this is quite clever. You pay your money, you take your choice. Right, thanks for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, if you found it useful. Consider subscribing please if you can, and I'll see you on the next video, which I think will be about my modified single motorbike trip. See you next time.